She knows what a true love of mine.
Moment of pause.
I'll let you see what we can see, what I'm looking at. That is the shot. Cigarettes and that I learned the other day. Leave your slippers in place. Finished my coffee, so that's upsetting. I think I can smash this out in 15 minutes. You gotta make it happen. Here are 7 crucial tips for videography I wish I knew when I started. Why does my head look so round? Don't think it needs that like. Right, I'm gonna go put ice on my face because they look awful. Gotta make it happen. So where are the tips? I need tips to make my face look skinnier. Frame rates. It's off the side. Hopefully I look better after that. This look awful. Ready to do it, and then if I don't like it, I'll do it later. Excuse me. Gotta make it happen. No, where's it? Wait, you can let it look. Monopod. Fire out. Loads of water on this. Streaming is the one we're gonna. No. When I'm on screen, everyone jumps off. Okay. Okay, first things first, I'll eat your brains and then I'll start rocking gold teeth and bangs. What am I doing now? Take 7 crucial videography tips for beginners. Here are 7 crucial videography tips for beginners that I really wish I'd have known sooner. So full disclosure, I'm a videographer and I've been working full time for 5 years now, so I think I'm getting up to my 10,000 hours. And here are a few tips that I really wish I'd have known sooner. That would have saved me a good bit of embarrassment and helped me progress on my professional journey a lot quicker. Simple tips, but when applied, they all add. Yeah, rambling. Okay. Here are 7 crucial videographer tips for beginners that I really wish I'd have known sooner. Here are 7 crucial videography. Here are 7 crucial video. Oh, here are 7 crucial videography tips for. Here are 7 crucial videography for beginners that I really wish I'd have known sooner. So full disclosure, I am a full-time videographer. I have an in-house role. So full disclosure, I'm a full-time videographer. I am a full-time videographer. I have an in-house role. 5 years now, so I'm really getting up to my 10,000 hours. Here are 7 crucial videography tips for beginners that I really wish I'd have known sooner. So full disclosure, I'm a full-time videographer. I've got So full disclosure, sinus is bleeding blocked. So full disclosure, I'm a full-time videographer with an in-house role for 5 years now, so I'm really getting up to my 10,000 hours. And here are 7 crucial videography tips I really wish I'd have known sooner that would have saved me some embarrassment on a few occasions. Here are 7 crucial videography tips for beginners that I really wish I'd have known sooner. So I'm a full-time videographer and I've got an in-house role now for 5 years, so I'm really getting up to that 10,000 hours. Be an expert, as Malcolm Glazer would say. Here are a few tips that I really wish I'd have known sooner that would have saved me some embarrassment along the way. And it also would have helped me improve a lot quicker at being a videographer. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is frame rates. So when I started, I was like very self-taught or YouTube taught, and a lot of the YouTube channels that I follow are American, and all they said was, it's 24 frames a second, that's it, deal with it, get on with it. I did a few shoots in Ireland at 24 frames a second and quickly learned that that was wrong. In Ireland and Europe it's 25 frames a second, but in America it's 24 frames a second. Now that's going to lead into my next point. Slow motion. So at the start, like I said, I was self-taught and I thought all So like I said at the start, I was self-taught and I thought all slow motion had to be 125 frames. So like I said, I was I was self-taught at the beginning, and I thought all slow motion had to be 120 frames a second or faster, 240 wherever possible. And now working in the industry, it's 50 frames a second here in Ireland, and it's 60 frames a second in America. Now working in the industry, I shoot all my B-roll in 50 frames a second, and then slow that down by 50%, and you get perfectly fine B-roll in slow motion. You get perfectly fine slow motion B-roll at 50% speed. In America, shoot 60 frames, and then on a 24 frames. In America, shoot 60 frames a second, and then on a 24 frames a second timeline, it slows down by 40%. You don't need 120 frames, you don't need 240 frames. It's nice if you can, but it's just not necessary. I've also done professional shoots at 30 frames a second, and then you slow that down to 80% speed, and you still get a little bit of that slow-mo action, and it's passable. While we are on the topic of speed, don't speed up your footage. It just looks so amateur. If you have a shot that's too long and you need it to fit into a certain length, I'd highly encourage you to cut around it. Even if you cut it with jump cuts, it's better than speeding up the footage. Speeding up the footage just looks, like I said, speeding up the footage just looks so amateur. Slow it down wherever you can, but if you can do a time lapse, that's fine. If you know it's going to be a longer shoot, like a few minutes, do a time lapse rather than whack it up to like 1000% speed. The shot, it just looks so amateur, and just don't do it. You punch in post-production further than 100%. I used to be very married to this rule that I wouldn't go beyond the 100% and deteriorate the image. But now the sensors have so many megapixels that you can really push the image. Like, I wouldn't go absolutely crazy and like 1000% in, but up to 150 you can still get away with it without the image deteriorating. And if it's like a second or two of a shot, you can push in. So if you've shot your footage on like your camera's native ISO, or if you shot your footage on your camera's native ISO or lower, once you have a good clean image, then you can really push it and just see how far you can push it, that you can get away with without it completely deteriorating or getting really pixelated. But don't be worried or don't be afraid to punch in post if you need to. Handheld is okay. Handheld is okay. At the start I used to think everything had to be locked off on a tripod, and then all the movement would be captured with a pan or a tilt. But now handheld is okay. I used to think that all footage had to be captured with the camera locked off on a tripod, and it would have to be pans and tilts, and that was the only way to capture the image, otherwise it looked amateur. But being in the industry, and to be honest now using my Blackmagic, a lot of the time it is just handheld and I lock it off into me and it's more cinematic to have movement. And if it suits the shot, or if it suits the shoot, sometimes it's better to get a more organic shot when you have the little bits of handshake. Like, nothing crazy, but if you have that little bit of movement, it gives you more of a connection to the image. It makes it feel more organic, and it's them little bits that you don't for that make it feel more real. I do have a stabilizer as well for my Blackmagic now at this stage, But like I said, I don't always use it, depending on the shoot, depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I need to be smaller and more compact, and just going handheld is perfect. So like I said, just do whatever suits. Yeah, it's better having the camera locked off on a tripod. It does restrict your range of motion, like I said, because you've got an anchor point. So it is left to right, or right to left, or up and down, or zoom in. So having that ability to just wander around and explore a bit more with the camera, it just gives you more options in post-production. Having that ability just to wander around with the camera and explore the shot, it'll just give you more options to work with in the edit. Carrying on from that, camera movement is always more cinematic than a cut. So if you can plan your blocking to have movement in the shot, even if it's a nice little arc around the shot with the camera, or a nice little push in, like I said, if you have a stabilizer, if you can get some movement, that's a lot nicer as well. Or if you have something in motion, to wander around it, or try to achieve more with the shot and get that. If you have something in the foreground and you shoot through it and you have this soft, and you get that nice parallax effect of the background moving one way, the foreground moving the other, and maybe the topic of the shot is in the middle. When you are covering, when you are on a shoot, if it's like an event or something, get as much coverage as you can and get inserts as well, because they'll just really help populate your edit at the end, and it'll just give it more colour and more of a feel. So if there's anything, maybe a bit of signage, but I wouldn't go too heavy on signage, but like if there's tickets or whatever it is, just get real nice close-ups. If it's like a piece of jewellery that someone's wearing, or I don't know, a drink or whatever, it just adds colour and it just gives you a bit more of a feel of the shot, and it's nice to break up the shots as well. And also, when you start at first, you will just get wide after wide after wide. Mix up your shots, get some wides, get some mediums, and get some extreme close-ups, and it just really adds more depth to the edit when you've got varying shots. So you're not just going from a wide shot to a wide shot to a wide shot. Now when you get there, shoot your wide shots, get your establishers, and then work your way in. Like I said, if it's an event, if there's a sign that says entrance this way, get that, or tickets up ahead, things like that. And then if you can get pictures of tickets or wristbands, or trying to think what else have I done? Just get in close with the camera and get some nice inserts, some nice full shots of small little things, macro photography if you can. And also, it's not enough just to rely on, if you're shooting 4K, that you can punch in post. Just get into the nitty gritty and get in close, and it'll really help you in the edit. It'll just give you a lot more options to work with in the post-production. I'll throw this in, but I don't think I'll use it. Overpriced for the shoots you don't want to do. Nah, I don't think so. What do you think about that one? Overpriced for shoots you don't want to do. Then lastly, this, have I done? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So lastly, I'm going to give you a bonus tip for when you do start working professionally. You will have people that you work with or people that compete with the same jobs that you're getting on, and you can't help it, but you will see these people as your rivals. You will eventually change that mindset. I remember when I was working in a production company in New York, it was like me and this other guy that were getting gigs, and I remember he got to edit a music video, and I was kind of a bit miffed as to why I didn't get the edit of the music video. And then I saw the edit that he produced, and I watched it with a lump in my throat because I couldn't have made that video, and just the graphics that he had in the video was just amazing, and I knew that was beyond my scope. Now, retrospectively, I know I couldn't have edited it that way, but I would have approached it completely different. I may not have made it. I really don't think I would have made it as good as he did, full disclosure. But I would have made a very good. I would have given it my best effort, and it still would have been. The client still would have been happy. It has taken me a long time to sort of come to terms with that realization that whatever way you'd attack the brief will be amazing, and you will give it your all. And if you give it your all, what you produce will still be a great piece. You have to understand that you can't edit the way someone else will, or you won't shoot it the way someone else will. And it's just, I've heard someone else say that in climbing or in hiking, they say hike your own hike. Don't compare yourself to others. And it's very hard not to compare yourself to others, but just be comfortable in your own ability and where you are in your journey, and don't feel jealous or what's the word? Is it jealousy? Don't feel discouraged when you see someone else that you think is at the same level you are, when they produce something and you're like, oh, I could never do that. But just, it'll take you a while, but you will learn that you could have made something great but different. Your style is your style, and that's what makes you unique and your unique selling point, and that's what you have to lean into. So just give every job your best, learn wherever you can, and if you can get a job where you're learning and getting paid at the same time, which is what I've been doing for the last 5 years, that is, your skills just grow exponentially when you are working with someone that you are answerable to, someone that's more senior than yourself, that has more knowledge of the industry, and they give you feedback. Your edits and your shoots will just improve exponentially. So if you've enjoyed this video and you think these tips have been helpful, and if you are a Premiere Pro editor, thanks Robert. If you found these tips helpful and you'd like a few editing tips, watch this video right here on how to be a faster editor in Premiere Pro. And please hit that subscribe button, and as always, thanks for coming. If you've made it this far into the video, please hit that subscribe button, and if you'd like to become a faster editor in Premiere Pro, watch this video right here. And as always, thanks for coming. I got it right this time. Here are 7 crucial videography tips for beginners that I really wish I'd have known sooner. It would have saved me a lot of embarrassment. Full disclosure, I am a videographer with an in-house role for 5 years now, so I'm coming up on my 2,000 hours, as Malcolm Glazer would say. So before we get into it, if you could hit, if you could hit that subscribe button, it'd really help out the channel, and I'll keep making quality content like this. That was cheesy as hell. So before we get into it, if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really help me out. It would really give me encouragement to keep making videos like this. If you could hit that subscribe button, it would really help the channel, and would give me a bit of encouragement to make a few more videos like this. Right, time to put up an IKEA. IKEA! 20 minutes, nice. 1, 2. 20 minutes, nice. So everybody watching at home, if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching along so far, and I hope you picked up a few tips if you're into videography. What else? I'm probably gonna get a bit of I might let's see. There's been like building IKEA wardrobe, and then I might get like an hour of editing. So hit that subscribe button and tune on in again later. Thanks for coming.